It's time for high school football on the Rev Game of the Week. Tonight, the second half of our Thursday-Friday doubleheader at Live Oak High School. Tonight, the Live Oak Eagles will play on their home field, and they will take on the East Ascension Spartans, who at this moment are all alone in first place in District 5-5A. I'm Jeff Porsche, and we'll be joined by Coach David Swacker in just a little bit, and we'll talk about what to expect tonight. We'll get the opening festivities and the coin toss and the kickoff in just a few minutes, but first we'll take a break. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
We just moved, so there's millions of...
Dahlias in bloom, over 9 acres. When we started, we grew a quarter of an acre.
Now I'm taking on new products on the regular.
We always dreamed of having this property, so...
I want to make my yard look as beautiful as...
Largemouth bass.
Yep.
We've got tons of them, don't we, buddy?
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours?
Come see us at Ascension Equipment for John Deere sales and service. Save more today and mow tomorrow.
You care about your car. So do we. Donaldsonville Glass and Body has been around for over 40 years, providing unparalleled collision repairs and customer service, especially when you and your car are having the worst day ever. When you demand exceptional workmanship, call Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Free pickup for your collision repairs and get it back as good as new. It's your choice, so why not choose the best? Donaldsonville Glass and Body.
The A-Team at Eustis Mortgage, here to serve all your home lending needs. Our company is a Louisiana-based family-owned mortgage company. Our mission is to provide custom-tailored mortgage solutions while educating our clients and providing the highest level of customer service during the transaction. Whether you're buying a home or looking to refinance, we would love to be of assistance to you. The A-Team at Eustis Mortgage is a proud supporter of Ascension Parish Athletics.
Piku Builder Supply, your one-stop lumberyard, provides an extensive selection of quality building supplies for your new construction and remodeling. We offer computer-aided estimating of your building and remodeling plans, as well as blueprint copies. From humble beginnings to becoming the industry leader in Gonzales and beyond, Piku proudly supports our local community because we believe in giving back to those who have had a hand in our success. Let the experts at Piku Builder Supply help you with your new project today.
For your car. The Ross Downing Buick GMC Buying Center wants to buy your car. It's fast, easy, and fair. No matter what make, no matter what model, no matter what mileage. The Ross Downing Buick GMC Buying Center wants it. And we'll pay you cash for it, even if you don't buy from us. It's the Ross Downing Buick GMC Buying Center in Gonzales. Cash for your car at the Ross Downing Buick GMC Buying Center in Gonzales.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Welcome back to the Rev Game of the Week, Friday night edition. As you see Live Oaks band getting ready to take the field as we have football in about 15 minutes between East Ascension and Live Oak. Tonight, our second night here at Live Oak High School. Last night, the first game in our doubleheader was played. A victory come from behind by Denham Springs over Dutchtown, 21-17. We'll talk about that as the game progresses and what that means for the district standings. But I'm going to bring in Coach Swack in. He's going to talk about the coaches here tonight for tonight's broadcast.
All right, here we go. East Ascension, Darnell Lee in his 7th year, 48-27. And Live Oak is Blaine Westmoreland in his 3rd year at 12-15. Jeff, the facility here is totally outstanding. We talked last night about the field house.
Yes.
And the field, the new press box, nice track facility, just a totally outstanding. And of all things, it seemed like a short trip for us both nights.
Yeah, it's not that far past Denham to get here, and we take the back way through Highway 16, and it wasn't very long at all. Traffic was not bad, and this is the first time I've been to Live Oak, and I'm very impressed with the field, the facilities, and they've been very helpful to us both nights, and a beautiful night for football once again as it's starting to clear up. But yeah, we're very impressed with everything out here. It's a great place.
And Live Oak and Walker has been also the home field for Denham Springs throughout the year. Yeah. Last night there was rumors in the stands here that we might be at our first home game next week at Denham Springs, and they said and boy, they were really worried about it at halftime because it was 17-0, but they're really hoping that possibly if they can get a home game first round of the playoffs, that they'll be at home at that time.
If we can get the graphic back up and talk about the other things that we saw there, the Live Oak all-time series versus East Ascension, that was a playoff game back in 2017. Live Oak with a 34-26 victory over East Ascension. So this is the first regular season matchup between these two teams, and it's going to be a district game from here on out. And so they'll play again next year at East Ascension. And why don't you talk about last week's game?
And last week, a crazy game, just basically like the game was last night, except just a reversal for Denham Springs with East Ascension scoring 2 touchdowns in the last couple of minutes, winning 17-7 over Denham Springs, and then Walker over Live Oak. And you would have to think this Denham Springs, Walker, and Live Oak, the Livingston Parish group is just like the Ascension Parish group. I imagine each and every time they play any sport or any activity, there's always a big rivalry and nice crowds and stuff like that. And so interesting to see how that game turned out last night, and the same thing for that East Ascension and Denham Springs game last week.
Absolutely, and you saw the other result right there. Walker versus Live Oak, 33-14 was the final score, and so Live Oak is looking for their first district victory here tonight. And you can see their colors. One thing I'll bring up real fast, because this is something that might confuse some people when we're out here. They have the same colors, the blue and the yellow. And so what's interesting tonight is Live Oak is, when they come out, they're going to be wearing all black tonight. So East Ascension is still going to wear the blue and yellow, so they will be the visitors tonight in the white uniforms.
And I think they had a black helmet, right?
Yes, no, they had a white helmet.
White helmet, yes.
Yes, so the yellow pants and helmet for East Ascension tonight. So that, in case that confuses anybody out here, since they are basically identical colors. So moving on, and since we have a little bit of time here, let's talk about the district and what the impact was last night as we update the standings from last night's game. Denham Springs beats Dutchtown. Last night, Dutchtown was 3-0 in district, and they had the tie for the lead with East Ascension. And now this game, East Ascension is all alone in first place, which means that if they can win tonight against Live Oak, who's 0-3 in district, they would go into next week's showdown versus Dutchtown all alone in first place and a chance to win district outright. So that's something that you might want to look forward to.
And you know, they're talking about winning a district championship, which could be outright with East Ascension, or it could be a 3-way tie or a 2-way tie.
Right.
But the big thing that everybody has to really be thinking about is, where am I going to stand in these playoffs? Because you're not taking 32 teams anymore with the new alignment with the LHSAA. And now it's going to go with these non-select teams, only 28. And right now, Sanama is sitting at number 28.
Right.
And so, you know, they're thinking, Coach Oliver, he has to be thinking, we have to win 2 weeks in a row here.
Most likely.
Against Walker tonight and against Live Oak next week.
And that's the other game that's going to take place in district tonight is Sanama at Walker. And if Sanama can win that game, they have Live Oak next week, who's also winless in district. There's a chance they can make the playoffs as well. Live Oak can make the playoffs if they can get an upset win here tonight, or perhaps beat Sanama. They're not far away in the standings as well. But before I bring it back to you, Coach, you were talking about the possibility of a 3-way tie. If East Ascension wins tonight and they lose to Dutchtown next week, and Denham Springs beats Walker, that's the scenario that would provide the 3-way tie. If East Ascension controls their own destiny, though, if they win out, they win district. And
I think unless the LHSA rule has changed, you know, they did not want to take with the new format, you know, with the power rankings and everything. They didn't want to take out anybody that won district automatically goes to the playoffs, including ties.
Yes.
And so if there's a 2-way or 3-way or just an outright district champion, that team, no matter where they are in the power rankings, and usually they are in, you know, good standings in the power rankings, will automatically go to the playoffs. And so you look at, and we'll talk about the power rankings a little bit later, but I'm going to tell you, when you look at right off the bat, East Ascension at 4-4, and they're basically leading the pack in the parish in the power rankings. So it's all about that schedule, but it's all about you got to win some games too.
Right.
And so East Ascension has done well since they started district. You know, they've been winning games, and that's carrying them on to tonight, ready to run through their tunnel.
And the whole hypothetical, if the season ended tonight, even after the updated power rankings from this morning after Thursday night's game, all three teams that are still in the running right now are in a position where they're in the top 16, so they could all possibly be hosting first-round games. But next week's games could have a huge impact on that. As you see, East Ascension, a great shot of them as they're getting ready to come out of their tunnel. And Live Oak on the opposite side has their tunnel, and they're coming out as well.
Well, I don't know if that's a cue for them to come out of the tunnel or if somebody's getting arrested here in the stands or not.
The air raid siren.
But, you know, we've covered a lot of things here with, and Jeff, I'm just telling you, tonight and next week are crucial to a lot of football teams in the non-select playoffs.
Yes, they are, and as you can see right there, you see obviously that's Live Oak as you can read their tunnel, but they're not wearing the blue and yellow. They're wearing the all black tonight, black pants, black jersey, white helmets. And you saw East Ascension's yellow on the opposite side as both teams are preparing to come out of the tunnel, and we'll have both of those as they happen as we are about 5 minutes away from the beginning of our game and still have the national anthem and the coin toss to come through, but here comes Live Oak. Hungry for a win, and their first win in district tonight. They're on a losing streak right now, but they're hoping to play spoiler here tonight against East Ascension. And I saw them earlier this season, Coach, against Dutchtown, and their defense is pretty solid. Their offense had a little bit of trouble. They were shut out by Dutchtown. As you see, East Ascension taking the field as well. So here come the Spartans. But to bring up Live Oak, they have a good defense. Second half, they shut down Dutchtown very well. The offense had a little bit of trouble, but everybody did against Dutchtown so far, at least until the fourth quarter of last night's game. But they have a really nice quarterback, a young sophomore that you're going to see, and he's a really good-looking young quarterback, Sawyer Pruitt. We're going to talk about him tonight as well. But, of course, East Ascension, they have a chance to go to 4-0 in district tonight.
Well, this is Live Oak's shot. They're at 30 right now, Jeff.
Yes.
And I would venture to say, a wild guess, they got to win both nights, week 9 and week 10.
Right. And this is the one that's going to be the tougher game, as East Ascension's the top dog in 5-5A. Next week they have Sanoma, which is going to be our Rev game of the week on Friday night. Next week we have a Thursday-Friday doubleheader as well. Thursday night, East Ascension at Dutchtown. Friday night, Live Oak at Sanoma. And so we're ready for the coin toss as you see the captains getting ready to take the field.
Number 1, Skylar Martin.
And on the opposite side, it looks like 11, 13, and 9 for East Ascension. And so 13 is Xavier Jupiter. And number 11 would be Bryson Green. And number 9, Jalen Lee, the quarterback for EA.
Number 13, Xavier Jupiter.
We'll take care of you. You take care
for Live Oak.
That whistle blows, somebody's on the ground, it's over. Help them up.
And we're going to listen and see what the official's talking to them.
You are the visitors. Coin has the head on one side, and I promise it's not double-headed. Fair enough? Call it in the air. If I drop it, we'll do it again. Say it loud enough for him to hear you. Okay? Here we go. What do you think? Tell him again. Tell the head you want to talk. I know you want to defer. So he is going to defer, and you're going to also kick from the front, right? And you want football now, so that's going to work out okay. So what I want you to do is put.
So it looks like East Ascension will receive to start the game, and you can see they're going to be going from left to right. And so we are moments away from the kickoff. We still have not had the national anthem, so I believe that's getting ready to take place. But we'll get to the starting lineups after.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Eagle Stadium on the campus of Live Oak High School.
National anthem.
Would you please rise, remove your cap. As the crew of blue, led by drum major Emily Almonte, drum major, conducts the national anthem, followed by the invocation. And now the invocation by Senior Bryce DeStefano, who attends Live Oak Church and is a member of the Live Oak track team and fishing team.
to say, dear Lord, I'd like to ask for your guidance for the players on the field tonight, and just give them a hand and keep them safe, Father. And I hope that you give the coaches guidance and the players guidance to make the right decisions and the right calls and make the right plays. And I hope you send them home crying tonight, God. I just pray that everybody here has a good time and makes it home safely tonight. And thank you for bringing everybody out and making everybody happy and keeping them in a good mood, Father. In your name I pray. Amen.
Wow, one of the saltier prayers that you've ever heard. But let's go to the East Ascension side and look at their offensive starters before the opening kickoff, as you have Antoine Foster at quarterback, and you're going to see Jalen Lee a lot tonight as well. And then in the backfield, Walter Samuel, Taj Washington. Receivers, Jackson Chesson, Ja'Cory Mitchell, and Xavier Jupiter. Offensive line, Owen Sonyat, Kendrell Green, Aiden Joseph, Chance Banks, and Bryson Martinez. And we'll get to the defensive starters for Live Oak after the opening kickoff, as we're just about ready to go. As back deep you have Jupiter and Mitchell, I believe.
Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out.
Live Oak ready for the kickoff.
Well, it's real interesting right here. You're kicking off from the left hash. A lot of times that's a little bit tougher for a right-footed kicker if he's right-footed.
That's Brett Schultz, number 25, to kick for Live Oak. So we're just about ready for Friday Night Football, East Ascension at Live Oak. And we are underway.
It's going to be returnable.
And that's Jupiter at the 7. And cuts outside, gets a decent return to the 22. Let's look at the Live Oak defensive starters as we start the first offensive play of the drive. And they're led by Caleb Smith, Brady Odell, Brandon Meyer, and Tyler Meyer. Linebackers, Wyatt Tynes, Cooper Smith. DBs, Brody Welch, Ethan Lemoyne, Joshua Harouche, Skylar Martin, and David Voorhees. So 1st and 10, Coach, ready to go.
1st and 10 at their 22-yard line.
They're going to start with a spread, 4 receivers, 2 left, 2 right, shotgun.
Boy, you see that free safety's in there really tight.
They have but now the safety's dropping back a little bit into coverage. You have Samuel and Foster at quarterback. As we said, Foster will be the starter tonight, but we expect to see Jalen Lee.
It's interesting, Coach. You have 4 down linemen and only a Mike backer with an outside backer into the sidelines.
And now they turn to the sidelines, and they're ready for the play. 12 on the play clock. Foster gives the calls to the offensive lineman, and we're ready. And there's Samuel, and a couple of nice little cuts, and he gets about 4 on first down.
Well, Samuel doing a lot of hopping around in there for a positive gain. Picks up about 3.5.
Salamere on the tackle.
Tackle made by number 45 for
Second down,
Live Oak.
6.
That's Brandon Meyer. 2nd down and 6 for the Spartans. Just underway.
We got a little motion and a little speed sweep.
Little sweep, yes. Ja'Cory Mitchell gets to the 30. That's going to be short of a first down, but it's going to be 3rd down and short, 3rd about 2 for the Spartans, as we see the nice replay right here. Good close-up and jet sweep. Good blocking downfield by Jupiter. And is eventually tackled for a 2-yard gain.
Down.
It's 3rd and 3. As you may be able to tell, we are broadcasting outside here. It's a very loud, very festive atmosphere out here.
Well, if you can't hear it at home, you can get here in time maybe to feel the chill.
Yes.
Of this wind blowing through the outside edge of the press box.
It's cooler and windier tonight for sure. Third down, and there's Samuel. First down to the 37, 38-yard line. So nice patient running there by Samuel following his blockers.
And also a little outside run. And there you go. You see that guard pulling up in there, giving a nice little helping hand for the kick out on the outside end.
And Green getting the start at that left guard position, helping out on the blocking right there. First and 10, 10:09 in the first. And there's Samuel, good speed, cuts outside, can't get there. Still trying, but he's going to be stopped after a short gain.
Number 22,
yeah, good
carry.
job on the tackle there by number 18, Harouche.
Well, he looks like he had plenty of room right there. And number one, the free safety, boy, did a great job of filling in there, Skylar Martin, and caused Samuel to reroute himself and only picking up 2 yards. I thought that was going to go for much more, Jeff.
Yes, it looked like he had some room, but Harouche held on and didn't let go. 2nd and 8. Shotgun handoff. Samuel breaks a tackle. Hard running. He's going to be a couple of yards shy of the first down, but he got probably about 2 or 3 extra yards on that broken tackle right there. Another great replay as they cut ahead and does a good job spinning off of the possible tackles.
You know, these are nice situations to have when it's third and just a couple of yards, but not the bad
that's trouble
snap.
right there. Foster is in trouble. Can he get free? He does not, and that's going to bring up fourth down. As Skylar
if we see
Martin
this, watch the snap. It was way off to the left and low.
And
Foster trying to scramble around and get free, and, of course, creates a 4th and 11 situation.
And Swack, that's not a surprise. They've had trouble with that snap from
Not
center
a surprise. And really, I know Coach Lee, I'm sure they have worked tirelessly about this. And I don't think the center is covered by a defensive lineman.
Ontiveros punch right there. And a fair catch called at the 31. And so Live Oak's going to come on offense. Let's go through the starters. They're going to be led by sophomore quarterback number 16, Sawyer Pruitt. His one back is Logan Williams. And then at receiver, you've got Bourne, Ray, Everett, and Jones. And in the offensive line, Zachary, Rutecki, Knapp, Sawaya, and Sadler. And it's first down. Shotgun, and they have actually a different back in the backfield. We saw this in the Dutchtown game. They started out with number 14, Braden Jones, in the backfield, and he's there. He's a small guy, hard to tackle out there.
Well, he might look small because that quarterback is fairly tall.
Yep.
And
not much there. So we have to take a look at the EA defense right now. And so let's look at the starters for East Ascension.
Let's see if East Ascension, they play multiple fronts. Usually they're in their three-man front with Womack, Gray, Joseph, Hobdy. Boy, a really good player in Hobdy. Hayes, Coleman, Walker, McZeal, Stanga is doing an outstanding job in the back there, and Bolden and Bouvet.
It was a 3-yard loss. It's 2nd and 13 for the Eagles. Good shot of that quarterback and Pruitt. And we talk about it. He looks like a quarterback out there.
Yeah, it looks like a 4-man front.
And it's a fake, and he stays in the pocket, now goes out, and a short gain, the little dump to his receiver.
Number 0,
and that's
Bourne.
Bourne. And so it's going to be 3rd down and long.
Pruitt was trying to look to the right side, just kind of extended the play, doing a good job right there, and tossing it out there for about a 4-yard gain.
We have an injury on the field, and so we'll take a break right now with 7 minutes. It's no score. You're watching the Rev, a game of the week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, Gaucher and Amadei, Our Lady of the Lake Health, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Chevrolet, Walk-Ons, Austin Fire Systems, Eustace Mortgage, SKR Construction, for their support of our EA Sports Medicine program.
They're helping the receiver off the field. Vince Bourne made the catch, and so he'll come out. He's wearing number 0 tonight instead of number 6. It's going to be 3rd down and 9 after the 4-yard pass.
And it looks like that left leg can't put any pressure on it.
So Jones stays in the backfield, and now the clock runs.
Oh, East Ascension in a 2 safety deep.
And now they look to the sideline. 17 on the play clock. 6:48 left to go in the first quarter.
They motion out to Trips to the wide side of the field.
That could be a tough loss, Bourne, with an injury. He's one of their leading receivers. It's 3rd down, and Pruitt in trouble, and he gets away, but he mishandles it, and it's picked, and that's going to be a touchdown, a pick 6 for East Ascension, number 30, with the play, Camden Womack.
Womack, I think he's done this before this year, Coach.
I tell you what.
Pruitt goes to throw the ball,
and
it just slips out of his hand.
Yeah, and he was tripped. May have lost his focus right there. You see, Hobney tripped him, and then
right there.
That might even be a fumble recovery. He lost it before his arm was going forward, but it's a touchdown.
And
for
Womack
East
says,
Ascension.
"I can handle this."
Yeah, that's a interesting turn of events right there as East Ascension's defense scores. They scored the last touchdown in the Denham Springs game. Ontiveros to kick. Good, and it's 7-0, and we'll take another break.
And I think Ontiveros is like 16 out of 16 on the year.
And you're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
You've probably heard that eTel has become Rev. What you may not know is that we're revving up your internet to symmetrical speed for free. Symmetrical speed means that your download and upload speeds are the same, thanks to the Rev All-Fiber Network. The new speeds have been applied to your current internet plan, and there's nothing for you to do except enjoy shopping, gaming, streaming, learning, and laughing. Learn more at letsrev.com. Thanks for being a loyal customer, and enjoy symmetrical speeds from Rev. New name, same company.
It's 7-0 on the fumble recovery or interception, whatever you want to call it, by Womack. And so East Ascension with Ontiveros will kick off, and he's very good, right?
I said 16 out of 16, a little bit better than that. How about 20 out of 20? And then 5 for 7 in field goals, having an outstanding year as East Ascension's punter, extra point, and kickoff guy.
And he had the game-winning points in the Jamboree game against Dutchtown as they beat Dutchtown 3-0. And there's a kick down to the 3. And a broken tackle to the 25. So a nice little return there for for Live Oak. Number 4, that's Whitehead. As you see the replay right there.
And you have Shaquan Ism, number 34, with a tackle.
Good catch there, Swack. As Walker.
They come out in 2 safety deep again.
Walker 7-0 over Sanamaw early. 1st and 10 at the 26. And on 1st down, handoff, not much, as they're going with Jones again.
Jeff, if we got this replay, watch the pile up in the middle there.
Loss of 1, 2nd down, 11 for the Eagles.
I mean, it's just massive right there. There's nowhere to go. You're going to have to get outside, and it looks just like what we saw for 4 quarters last night between Dutchtown and Denham.
I agree. That was Kelvin Gray, number 62. Huge guy right there, and on the smallest guy on the field. The biggest guy on the field just tackled the smallest guy on the field. 2nd and 11. And a pass downfield, and it's up for grabs. And is that picked? It is picked. As that's Deron McZeal with the interception.
McZeal, just a 10th grader. Now watch this, just nice job of just backpedaling right there. And, the receiver was not open. McZeal does an outstanding job of just cutting in front, backing up on the snap. You got help over the top with the 2 safeties deep. And that was just a simple little play for McZeal right there to handle that pickoff. Of course, no return there. 1st and 10 for the Spartans on the 38-yard line.
McZeal is a transfer from Dutchtown, Coach. He played Dutchtown freshman year last year, but on 1st down, Foster gets away, and he's got lots of room to run. He turns the corner. He's to the 20, and he's down inside the 15. Nice run by Foster as we'll check the replay here.
Well, Foster created a run, breaking that tackle right there,
yes.
And watch the receiver going up blocking for him. There's number 2.
Right, Ja'Cory Mitchell.
And that's Mitchell.
And there's Samuel downfield as well. Everybody helping out. Getting back to the final word on McZeal, he was at Dutchtown last year. You may remember we did some Dutchtown basketball games. He was a starting point guard for Dutchtown. He played freshman ball at Dutchtown as well. His mom is now an administrator at East Ascension.
And he arrived when she arrived.
Yep. And so they're going to say that he stepped out of bounds at the 23.
But he got a 1st down on the scramble.
And a flag. 0 on the play clock. Delay of game is the call. So that'll back it up 5.
Delay of game against Spartans.
Early on, 7-0 first quarter. East Ascension with the lead and driving.
And, this is nice. You get the interception and everything. But, Jeff, I'm going to tell you, as a coach, it is crucial to take advantage of these situations right here, because it's a win for them if Live Oak stops East Ascension right here.
Right, and they could get out of hand. Another bad snap. That's 2. And Foster just needs to get rid of it, but he can't. Just not enough time. And he's tackled by number 46. That's Tynes. And so, do we call that a sack, Swag?
They call that being your worst enemy right there.
As they lose about 20. 33. The ball's at the 44. They need to get to the 13. So it's 2nd and 31. So I guess Coach Darnelli's going to pull out his 2nd and 31 play, right? What would that be?
I don't even know what page on the play sheet that actually is.
And it's a run up the middle by Samuel. And this is just something that they need to correct, though. The center snap has been a problem all season. If you're playing out that shotgun, they're going to have to be more accurate once they get to the postseason, Coach. Because this is a team that could make some noise in the postseason.
Disappointing situation. I know as a coach, you just got to shake your head. I don't know where they stand as far as having backup centers or what they've tried or whatever, but it doesn't seem like they're getting the consistency that's needed. And that was a low snap right there, and there's a long pass.
And he's open, and it's caught, and he steps out of bounds before he gets to the end zone. That's Chasson, and just the momentum kept him out the end zone right there. But a beautiful pass.
There's no doubt, and that's number 1 throwing. Sometimes they bring in Lee to throw, and
just a great catch.
Chasson, just ran by the corner.
And that was perfectly timed, too. He didn't have to wait for it or anything. Caught it in stride.
So, the highs and lows on this drive. Interception. All right, great job, East Ascension. Then bad snap. And
now the handoff and the stop. 2nd and goal from the 3. No gain for Samuel. Clock running, 3:26 left to go. East Ascension trying to get it, make this a 2-score lead early on. 7-0.
Well, both teams are thinking this is crucial.
Yes.
Crucial to stop East Ascension. East Ascension saying crucial to score.
And a pass, the fade to the end zone, and it is incomplete as he's trying to get it to number 10, to Ryan Franklin.
Well, Franklin has a height advantage over everybody on defense.
Yes.
That throw has to be kind of to the back pylon in the back corner of the end zone, and that way the quarterback has something to aim at, and the receiver has something to aim at is on his route.
And there's a quarterback keeper. Look at the tackles he breaks just to get a 2-yard loss. That was a great effort, but just the defense couldn't get through that as he's tackled by number 32, Caleb Smith. As I say it simultaneously with the public address announcer. 4th down. And this is where you're happy to have a guy like Ontiveros, Coach.
Well, but let me just tell you, this is not a gimme right here, because when you're kicking from that hash mark,
yes,
and you're that close, basically it's like an extra point, maybe a few yards. This is a tough angle.
Yes. But he's been reliable this season. And it's up. And it's good. So he made it. It's 10-0.
So that's 6 out of 8 on the year for Ontiveros. And he is the man of the day right now. Nice little kickoffs that he's had, an extra point and a field goal.
And we'll take a break with 10-0, our score. East Ascension with the lead. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
You've probably heard that ETEL has become Rev. What you may not know is that we're revving up your internet to symmetrical speed for free. Symmetrical speed means that your download and upload speeds are the same, thanks to the Rev All-Fiber network. The new speeds have been applied to your current internet plan, and there's nothing for you to do except enjoy shopping, gaming, streaming, learning, and laughing. Learn more at letsrev.com. Thanks for being a loyal customer, and enjoy symmetrical speeds from Rev. New name, same company.
And here's the kick, and it's taken at the end zone, and stood up shy of the 20. Good job by the East Ascension special teams taking Whitehead down.
Well, it starts off, and I just mentioned it just on, that's 2 kickoffs in a row that go to the 2-yard line down there, and by Ontiveros. And so if you have, if you're in the NFL or if you're in college, most of the time it's in the end zone. Here in high school, you got to cover some kickoffs.
Yes, and Darius Walker was the first Spartan to make a tackle starting left cornerback.
So you see the positioning of these corners looking inside, so that tells me a cover 2 look.
And there's a whistle. They got the play off before the play clock ran out. Maybe motion. No, offsides against East Ascension, so they get 5 early yards on this drive. I want to bring up Coach. It's always important in every level of high school football to get points off of turnovers, and that's what they did right there, even though it wasn't a touchdown.
Well, because field goals in high school are not a guarantee.
Yeah.
But, usually because you're in 5A, Ontiveros, I'm sure because his brother was also the kicker. He's on the soccer team. These things are all crucial that he's taking advantage of this situation. Pruitt scrambling.
And he gets close.
Coming close to a first down.
So
what I liked about Pruitt right there, as he was scrambling, he was kind of feeling the pass rush. He had his eyes downfield, hopefully they're trying to find somebody to throw to. But they get a situation to where now it is 2nd and 1.
Second down.
After the 5-yard penalty, that's what helped right there. That was Darren Irvin, number 40, with the tackle. We have a whistle, and they may be respotting the football. They give them an extra yard.
Well, if they give them the extra yard, they may be giving them a first down also.
It looks like the down indicator has moved to first down, so they are going to call it a first.
Is enough for an eagle. First down.
1:27 left to go in the first quarter. 10-0 East Ascension. But the first down of the night for Live Oak.
We haven't seen Pruitt throw a long ball, so I'm anxious to see, as a 10th grader, what type of arm he has on the long passes.
And there's the handoff up the middle, and he gets about 3 or 4 before he's pushed back.
Ray Jones on the carry.
And so that's Jones.
Most Spartans on the tackle.
And it's going to be a short gain before he's
Second
taken down,
6.
and you see basically everybody down there on the tackle. Sidney Joseph among others. 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6 for the Eagles.
So East Ascension is thinking, going to be throwing the ball a lot. You see McZeal over here, and you watch the deep safety on the snap. They are double covering the wide receiver out here into the Live Oak sideline.
Waiting for the snap. There's 0 on the play clock. They do get it off. And it's a short gain. Possibly the final play of the first quarter. That's Jones. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 as we go down to 7, 6, 5, and they will not get a play off. They're already going to the sidelines. So the first quarter is history. Successful first quarter for East Ascension. It's 10-0. East Ascension leads Live Oak. We'll take a break. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
From jambalaya, pastalaya, and gumbo to daily lunch specials, Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen has Cajun dishes to satisfy your hunger. Pot and Paddle has 3 locations to serve you, including the one on Cabela's Parkway in Gonzales, Jefferson Highway near Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, and Jubin Crossing in Denham Springs. You can dine in, carry out, or let them do the catering for an office get-together or tailgating at the big game. And don't forget about their delicious daily lunch specials. You can check out their specials and more on the web at potandpaddle.com.
Served 5 years with deployments to the Persian Gulf in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. Jason joined the Baton Rouge Fire Department in 2008 and is also the owner of Gibson's Gutters and Patio Covers here in Watson. He and his wife Sarah are slated to open a fitness clothing store in the 18th District of Denham Springs called Flex Apparel in mid-December. Jason loves his country, this community, and looks forward to serving all of you. He is joined on the field with his wife Sarah, son Leighton, and daughter Isabella. Ladies and gentlemen, a big Eagle Stadium salute for Navy Petty Officer 3rd Class Jason Gibson.
So best of luck and congratulations to him as we start the second quarter, and you see our score down there at the bottom, 10-0. EA with the lead over Live Oak, and it's 3rd and 4.
Jeff, I think this is a big one right here.
Yep.
You know it's not going to be a 4-down territory on this side of the 50-yard line unless they got real close to that first down.
And the handoff, he gets it. Look at that running right there. Hard running by Braden Jones, number 14.
Nice job there by the running back right there.
By number 12.
But watch the East Ascension. Barely got through and almost made the tackle. But
McZeal's the one who finally came from his cornerback position to make the tackle.
Yeah. Jones right there, nice carry for the first down.
1st and 10, there's movement. Maybe got into the neutral zone, no flag.
I'm not going to agree with you on that one. I'm looking straight at the ball, and that helmet looked like it covered that.
And on 1st down, there's Jones. Oh, no, make that the other back, number 34. That's Blake Rosenthal on the carry. They got some short running backs, some small guys that pack a big punch.
2nd down.
Well, you know, when they get fired off right there behind that wall of offensive linemen, a lot of times linebackers can't see them, and they just completely miss them.
Right. I think Darren Sproles, when you think of things like that. It's a 5-yard gain. Impressive run, his first run of the night. 2nd and 5.
Repositioning the running back.
And there he is again. Rosenthal hit hard by Hobdy. Hobby just nailed it.
I tell you what, Hobby's a football player.
He had the pick six, the game winner last week.
But he comes off the defensive end spot right here. Watch, untouched.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you what, that was about as form tackle as you could possibly get right there.
You heard the gasps on the Live Oak side. That was a hard hit, but he only lost a yard. Felt like a 10-yard loss, though, probably. 3rd and 6. We're in the second quarter, 10-0 East Ascension leads. And they're going to go with the run to Rosenthal, and first down as he carries Hayes. He just stands him up at the linebacker position, takes him for a ride.
He got to that past that defensive line right there. And linebacker, if you're not attacking, that's what happens. You catch those running backs.
And they're in a hurry up. They're back ready to snap the ball. Now they take a break. Maybe trying to catch East Ascension off guard, but they were ready.
East Ascension staying with the two safeties deep, so it's a run type situation. A little fumble on the exchange.
And it may have squirted loose, and it looks like number 62 is going to come up with it, and that's East Ascension football. Recovery made by Kelvin Gray, the big guy. And it looked like he –
that ball just shot out of there. There's the big man right there.
I thought Pruitt landed on it, but it just squirted out. That's a second turnover.
I'm going to tell you what, that big guy laid on that ball right there and might need to re-air it up because that was a – and look, the ball comes right to me. Hell, East Ascension in a little different look, a little stack on the doubles here.
So we still have Foster and Samuel in the backfield. And nothing there as number 32, Caleb Smith, and a couple of other Live Oak defenders up to the task and make the tackle for a loss.
Number 22.
Second turnover of the night, Swack, and that's not how you win ball games. You have to keep that ball as much as you can, and East Ascension is the kind of team that can take advantage.
Well, and you turn over here is at midfield, and when instead of starting from the 20-yard line, like after a kickoff or whatever, you're at the midfield at the 50.
And on the interception by McZeal, they started deep into
this is what I've been waiting for right here.
That keeper and just a convoy ahead of them and good blocking downfield and a first down.
You know, Foster is, when he's not playing quarterback, a lot of times he plays running back, and this is where he's a running back, faking to 22 and getting a nice gain right there of about close to 15 yards.
And I like how everybody's blocking downfield. You saw Corey Mitchell right there with a block very far past the first down marker. So good job by the receivers and everybody finding somebody to hit. 1st and 10 from the 36. Fake, pass, downfield, underthrown, comes back and can't quite make the catch. That's Ja'Cory Mitchell, and it's incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Well, you got a little play action right here, Jeff.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You know, Foster might think, maybe I just need to throw this thing a lot quicker.
There was contact.
Because Mitchell's getting down the field.
Yes. Mitchell and Chasson have good speed. You can tell just from this game here tonight. Clock stops after the incompletion with 8:03 left to go before halftime. And a loss as they wrap up.
East Ascension not getting the job done on that defensive line.
Yes.
You know, when you have guys in the backfield, like, well, first of all, Big 73 was trapping the defensive end, which was knocking him into the running play.
Yes.
So I'm not real certain if Samuel was supposed to cut up in there or looked like they were running a sweep to me.
Possibly. He just had nowhere to go as he was hit by every defensive lineman. The tackle we're going to credit Brady Odell, number 64. It's 3rd and 14. They've already converted a 3rd and 29. And they're going deep downfield. And this is Jupiter. You know he has speed, but he misses off of the shoulder pad. Incomplete. Good coverage there by the secondary for Live Oak. It's 4th.
Pretty good pass protection right here. Gets the ball thrown down there, and the spacing right there didn't help East Ascension because the corner was able to come off and help in the coverage.
And it's 4th down, so a big stop by Live Oak as they're trying to stay in this ball game early on. Good snap pressure, gets it away. He's down, no flag. And it's going to roll inside the 5. And I don't think they stopped it, or did they? They're going to say he stopped it at the 1.
I think inside of the 1, Jim.
Wow, look at that. That was a good job there at the last moment. As you see the roll, and I don't know. That ball looked like it hit the end zone. It was on the white. They're calling it down at the 1. Now they're going to say it's down at the 5. Maybe there was contact right there. Let's see. I'm not sure what we're seeing right there. Maybe he touched it right there. Yeah, I see the contact right there, perhaps. Check that out. Our director here, Andre, just doing a great job finding the slow-mo.
Yeah, but it's not where contact. It's where you have control of the ball.
Well,
because you could touch it at the 5, and if it continues to roll in the end zone, it's a touchback.
Maybe they just tried to compromise right there. I don't know. And they're going to go tight and run up the middle. And a good run, Rosenthal. They get out of the shadow of the goalposts and get about 5 on 1st down.
34 Rosenthal.
Yeah, they're finding a little seam in there.
So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 5.
Jones in the game, back in the game at running back.
Now, Live Oak has committed 2 turnovers early tonight. A 3rd one right here will be deadly. So they just have to keep the ball in, try to get some 1st downs as the run up the middle is close to a 1st down. And that's going to be.
They're marking it as a 3rd down situation.
Yes. Looking at the carry by Jones right there, and now they're saying 1st down. We've seen this. That's the 2nd time we've seen that where they decided at the last minute, no, we're going to give them a 1st down right here.
Well, I think the white hat has to come in, and he has the final okay,
right.
And he looks at it, then he moves them from there.
So it's a 1st and 10. And another carry up the middle, short gain.
You know, East Ascension's got to be thinking, this is exactly what we love to do. You know, one-on-one on the offensive line versus the defensive line.
They have the advantage on the lines for sure. They have the big bodies and some really athletic players on that defensive line. Live Oak, when we saw them play against Dutchtown, they struggled a little bit to keep Pruitt protected, and you've seen that a couple of times here tonight. He's been under pressure.
Now you got a 2nd and 8.
And it's a play fake and pressure. This is what I was talking about, sack. And the big guy again, as Kelvin Gray is having a night so far, Coach. The fumble recovery, a sack. He's made a couple of tackles.
Comes off the block right there.
By number 62, Kelvin Gray.
So it's 3rd and 11. So he's notched the fumble recovery. He's got a sack, and he's made a couple of tackles on the D-line. 3rd and 12. The 2nd quarter slowly fading away. 4:40 left to go. And they're going to do the jet sweep, and no way. Ball's on the ground, and I think they're saying that he was down.
Yeah, I see.
No turnover. No fumble.
See the Eagles sending out the punt team. Well, now East Ascension's going to be sitting just like they were in the last possession when they recovered a fumble. They're going to be getting this ball inside of the 50-yard line with 4 minutes, a little less than 4 minutes remaining in the first half.
And we got to give credit to Joseph Hobby, call his name again, as he made that tackle in the backfield, and another hard hit. We saw him just clobber one of the running backs. This is a high snap. He gets it away.
Nice job there by the punter.
And it's taken on the bounce. And McZeal, shoestring tackle. Nice tackle by number 36.
Number 35.
That's Riley Ibsen.
Well, Mike should have caught it in the air. But the good thing, he caught it on the bounce. And, I know he got tackled right there, but that ball wasn't allowed to hit again and maybe roll another 5, 6, 7 yards.
Actually, that was Voorhees on the tackle. And so let's talk about the defense here tonight as East Ascension's offense takes the field. You had big plays from Hobby, big plays from Gray, and big play and interception by McZeal, and you had the interception by Womack. So everybody contributing on his defense.
And as you could see, boy,
another low snap. And he keeps it, still gets about 9, maybe 10.
I think they're going to mark it. It's going to be a first down.
They've been doing that all night. If you're close, they're giving you the first down.
But the low snap is got to hurt you somewhere down the road here. I mean, Jeff, you had week 9 right here.
Yes. And they're still having that problem. And if you remember the Sandoval game, they had so many of those. As Samuel gets a first down inside the 25, they had a run in that first and second quarter of that Sandoval game where every other snap was just off, and they're still trying to correct that.
Gabe Harvey into the game.
And on first down to the 20, as we go to 3 minutes left to go. No timeouts have been called so far here tonight. So everybody has their full allotment of timeouts. We're getting close to halftime. We're going to talk about the non-select playoffs, and we're going to take a look at some shots that we saw last night from our interview with Jeff Pyron. We have some really cool drone footage of the new Prairieville High School, and so we're going to get all of that as we're getting to a timeout.
Jeff, that school is located near your house, near my house.
Yes.
And from time to time, I go by there running some errands. And it is amazing that you will see 30 cars out there of workers that are doing all types of things. There's all types of activity going on. Building, it looks like the Great Wall of China that's going up right now that Jeff talked about was the gymnasium that they're building.
Yes.
And so it's really interesting to see how this is going to take place, and I guess it's going to be over a year that they're going to be working on this. But he had some nice shots of the school in general and the athletic facility and stuff.
The renderings are just awesome to look at. Last night, the interview with Jeff Pyron, he was the one who provided all the information for us. And if you didn't see it last night, we'll show some of the shots here at halftime. 2nd and 5, pass incomplete, a little high as it falls out of the hands of Dorian Franklin.
Number 10, Franklin.
A little high, but this is like an RPO right there. A little fake to get those linebackers coming in, and maybe a little high for 10 Franklin to bring it in. 3rd and 5 situation.
High snap, he keeps it, and he's going to run, and a flag. He's close to a first down. That's holding territory, right, Swat?
It's holding territory, and just too much leakage on that play. I would think linebackers coming through. Now the referee's looking to see it's a holding call. He gave the official.
Right. And that's big because they're still in field goal range. This penalty can take them out of field goal range as the clock stops with 2:37.
It's a spot foul, and it will go back to where you have a third and maybe 15
as you see
or
on the
16.
Replay. You see the possible hold right there on the replay. So now, if they don't get anything right here, it's a 50-yard field goal. That's probably out of Onaveros' range. So they have to get something to get back in field goal range right here, Swack.
Well, I'm not real certain if you would kick or punt the ball here.
Well, Live Oak's passing game has not been successful. In the running game, they've put it on the ground a couple of times. Pressure, deep, and falls down, backpedaling, and
wide open.
He was open, but incomplete.
That Thompson?
Brennan Thompson, fourth down. So now,
I mean, look right here how wide open he is.
Yep.
And, I don't think he would have been able to catch it because you lose speed when you start backpedaling like that.
Right. And they're at the 32, and it looks like they're going to try the 49-yarder with 2:10 left to go. This will be fun to watch as we have a whistle, and a timeout has been called. So we're going to keep it here for this break, and we can talk about the upcoming schedule for our game of the week. As we have our doubleheader this week, the Thursday night Dutchtown Denham game, which was won by Denham Springs. Tonight we have East Ascension and Live Oak. Next week we have a Thursday-Friday doubleheader as we finish up the regular season in 5-5A. As we see the games next week, East Ascension at Dutchtown. That's our Thursday night game. Friday night, one last trip to the pit for Live Oak and Sandoval, and then Walker at Denham Springs, and then we'll have playoff action next week somewhere.
And the power rankings will come out on Saturday, which will be tomorrow. And you kind of see where everybody is and just exactly what has to happen in order for your team to make the playoffs and who they might possibly be playing.
Now they think twice, and now they're going to go for it. 3 receivers left and 1 right. Foster. Pressure. And they drop him. Big defensive play by number 46 for Live Oak. That's Tynes. And a turnover on downs.
By number 46.
So Jupiter was in the end zone, Coach, and they would have been able to get free and throw that
Could
pass.
not get free. You almost need a maximum protection right there. Send one guy out long and throw it to him on the sidelines.
So now Live Oak has a chance to get back in this ball game. They're not far behind, only trailing by 10, but they can make it very close with 3 timeouts. You're absolutely right, Coach.
And, of course, in this passing game, you get first downs. The clock stops temporarily, goes out of bounds. It stops just like a timeout. Incomplete, stops like a timeout. So you got a lot of ways to get this thing going.
But not that.
That's not one of them.
No, as just wrapped up by big Sidney Josephs. Rosenthal trying to maybe trick them right there with the run. Not surprised. Clock now.
There it is right there, the big man, 36.
Everybody
Sidney
joining
Joseph.
in on the action. We call just about everybody's name here on the East Ascension defense tonight. Maybe not the safeties. That's about it.
Well, the safeties are deep, and they're there to help on some long passes.
Fake, pressure, screen, nowhere to run. That's Anthony Coleman. That's a new name right there as he takes Jones down for a loss.
Senior outside linebacker right there, sitting up perfect. Good call, I believe, on the screen. Just that linebacker is sitting there waiting.
Right. He got past his man, number 79. And now we're going to have.
I think East Ascension just called a timeout, creating a 3rd and 13 situation. You know, you could try to block the punt if it gets to that situation. You could return a punt. McZeal's very capable.
Here's the thing. If they get the ball back, those receivers, all the receivers, Jupiter and Chasson and all Jabari Mitchell, they have all gotten past the defenders. They got a chance to go deep.
Well, you know, I'm sure you have to be a little bit intelligent on this deal, because you'll see when East Ascension, if they do get the ball, that these defensive backs are going to be backed up. And so the short passing game, you know, and maybe throw it out there to one of your better athletes and see if he could break a tackle and get down the field.
3rd and 14. So actually, according to the scoreboard, they credited the timeout to Live Oak. I don't know if that's right. But it's 3rd and 14 regardless. Draw play. Jones will not get the first down. He gets a decent
Coach
yards.
Lee should call timeout here.
As Coleman makes another tackle.
So not getting any timeouts
they're
here.
They're not calling the timeout. They may be content.
Well, they're content of not doing anything.
Right. Now, Live Oak does get the ball first to start the second half. They deferred. And it looks like they're going to go for it.
Or get them to try to jump.
Perhaps. But that doesn't help anything because it's still going to be 4th down. So I'm not quite sure. 5, 4, 3, 2. And so now they call the timeout. They won't take the
Live
penalty.
Oak handled that, I think, very well. I was thinking maybe East Ascension would call timeout. You know, you got a chance to block a punt. You have a chance to have a bad snap on a punt. And then you have a very good athlete in return in McZeal. So,
but the problem is you got 12 seconds left. So.
Yeah, now it's a different, whole different scenario here.
So they have to get the return or the block or something, but they aren't going to have a lot of opportunity to do anything with it. So they have to get in the end zone pretty quickly on this play. But there's lots of things could happen.
And if I'm on the other side of this, I just don't think I would have my return guy trying to catch this.
Schultz back deep.
25, Brett Schultz.
And McZeal back deep.
Duran, McZeal.
So there's
good
a
snap.
And he gets it away, and it's a great punt.
Just let it go. Just let it go. There you go.
And look at his bounce. It's going to go into the end zone. And he's punting from the 36, 37, so it's a 63-yard punt with 3.5 seconds left.
Very nice job right there. Very nice.
Yes. Give credit to Breck Schultz. So he did his job. He got that punt off, and not only did he get the punt off, he nailed it.
You know, Coach Westmore probably says, I need about a dozen of those things.
Yep. Live Oak just having trouble on offense. Their defense has played pretty well. They were able to stop East Ascension on a goal-to-go situation. They stopped them in Live Oak territory. But the offense has to make something happen for them to come back and win this game in the second half.
Well, it looks like East Ascension set up to take a knee.
And they do, and that's it. So it's halftime. Our score 10-0. East Ascension with the lead, and we will break and go to our halftime show. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility. moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
We just moved, so there's millions of
Valley is in bloom, over 9 acres.
When we started, we grew 1/4 of an acre. Now I'm taking on new products on the regular.
We always dreamed of having this property, so
I want to make my yard look as beautiful as
largemouth bass.
Yep.
We've got tons of them, don't we, buddy?
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours?
Come see us at Ascension Equipment for John Deere sales and service. Save more today and mow tomorrow.
You care about your car. So do we. Donaldsonville Glass and Body has been around for over 40 years, providing unparalleled collision repairs and customer service, especially when you and your car are having the worst day ever. When you demand exceptional workmanship, call Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Free pickup for your collision repairs and get it back as good as new. It's your choice, so why not choose the best? Donaldsonville Glass and Body.
The A-Team at Eustis Mortgage, here to serve all your home lending needs. Our company is a Louisiana-based family-owned mortgage company. Our mission is to provide custom-tailored mortgage solutions while educating our clients and providing the highest level of customer service during the transaction. Whether you're buying a home or looking to refinance, we would love to be of assistance to you. The A-Team at Eustis Mortgage is a proud supporter of Ascension Parish Athletics.
Don't let me forget that. We're at half, and here's the Live Oak Band.
Next, we feature the Eaglettes, led by their captain, Brady Bowes, in a song made famous by The Weeknd. This is Blinding Lights. Ladies and gentlemen, help us fill out the Eagles as the crew ends the halftime with the playing of the Live Oak School Fight Song. Ladies and gentlemen, the crew of blue. The band director, Brian Beagles, percussion instructor, Michael Crochet, color guard sponsor, Larissa Dixon, color guard choreographers, Macy and Lisa Munson. Eagleette sponsors, Sammy Parker and Tanya Robinson. Eagleette choreographer, Michaela Leisure.
And we're back, and a nice performance by the Live Oak Band, and we're going to continue halftime. We still got a lot of time left to talk about things, and so first thing we're going to talk about here, last night we were trying to get the drone shot of Prairieville High School while Jeff Pyron was talking, but we just didn't have enough time. So what we're going to do is take a look at that right now as construction has begun over at Prairieville High School. And, of course, everybody in the parish is interested in finding out about that. And so here's our first shots, and it just looks amazing. And look at the size of that campus, and look at everything that's going to be there, Coach.
And I think that they're talking about this is a gymnasium.
Yes.
which, if you go by there, the cinder block looks like a great big wall right there. And I'm not real certain this is on the corner of what school, what
that's, what is it, 929 and Henry Road, I believe.
And you could just see that they've done a lot of work, dirt work.
Yes.
You have a few trees they left on campus. There's a lot of things going on. As you could see, there's a number of vehicles with workers.
Right.
And, of course, I imagine they got a lot of work done the last month or so. No rain at all. It's been perfect weather to be able to handle any of these situations.
That's exactly what Jeff said, because we were talking about how last year the turfs were so difficult to get to because there was so much rain and hurricanes, and then you get that right there. A month of 2 months almost of no rain, and so they made good progress, and so that's good to see. And we're going to see some more of the shots right here. We'll look at Prairieville, and we'll look at some other ones later on. We have some shots of EA that are going to be very interesting too. But these are the renderings, and you see the soccer field, the football stadium, and the track facilities, and the baseball stadium in the background. That's the athletic facilities, and there's the front of the main building, the front office here at Prairieville. That's what they're expecting to see. Then you have the cafetorium with the theater and the cafeteria area and the tables and everything like that. It just looks like it's going to be a great setup.
And you basically have this at the new freshman academies, with where the kids now is their lunchroom, and now that's where their stage has been moved to.
And so that's the school campus itself. And so we'd like to thank Jeff Pyron for all the renderings and his cooperation and just all his help here at Rev Sports for providing all these shots. Later on in the game, we're going to take a look at East Ascension and Donaldsonville. We have a lot of shots to share with you. But in the remaining time here, we want to also talk about the playoff format in 5A non-select, because it's changed in the last season, and some teams that were in non-select are now in select. There's some teams that are in 4A that are going to be competing with the 5A teams. And so, Coach, you did a lot of research on that. And so when you talk about like the new classification, what makes a non-select team? What did you find out?
Well, basically the LHSA, Louisiana High School Athletic Association, have been dealing with the select and the non-select playoffs for certain sports here in Louisiana. They have redefined what a select school is. And basically a select school is any lab school, any magnet school, schools with magnet components, charter schools, or any parish that allows open enrollment at all of its public schools and tuition-based schools. So basically what they're saying now is a lot of your Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, and Lake Charles schools are now considered to be select schools.
And they were in the non-select prior to that, but that whole open enrollment thing kind of threw a monkey wrench in that.
And so basically what they basically started this year with the LHSA, and they let people try to amend anything or whatever to get a change in there. And so now what we have right here, we're not going to have classifications of 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A. We're going to have, when we go to the football playoffs, it's going to be Division 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the select and the non-select. The select are already doing 1, 2, 3, and 4 divisions.
Yes.
Now, and the reason why they're doing that is because that some of your 4A schools are having to move up to 5A.
Yes.
To equal out the balance there, because that's going to be for both select and non-select.
Right.
So this is what you have here, Jeff.
Okay.
You have 28 teams. It's been 32.
Yes.
You have 28 teams that are going to be ranked according to power rankings after next week. Right now, you look at Sanoma, they're at 28. So they are at the bottom of the rankings right there. And so they know that they need to win these next 2 weeks in order to probably get to the playoffs.
And when you look at the updated rankings after last night's games, they actually dropped to 29, which means they would have been in the playoffs last year. They would not be in the playoffs this year. Live Oak is 32. They would have been in the playoffs playing the 1 last year. Now the 1 gets a bye, the 32 is out. So that's what, if you're sitting there looking at their power rankings and say, oh, we're number 32, we're in, you're actually not in. And those are the power rankings that you see right there with Sanoma at 29, Live Oak at 32. The big change last night was basically Denham and Dutchtown flip-flop. As Denham was 16, they moved up to 13, and Dutchtown was 12, and they dropped to 15. But that's kind of the gist of it.
But remember, all those teams right there aren't in the playoffs. Only the top 28 will be in the playoffs. So victories tonight and next week are crucial for a lot of people, especially in the 20s there.
Now, when you look at those rankings and you say, well, those aren't – where's Acadiana? Where's Barb? Where's Woodlawn? And the answer is they're in Select. So you lost a lot of those teams.
They're in their Lafayette School, their parish, they allow open enrollment. And so if you allow open enrollment, then you are going to be moved to the select group.
Right. Now, the entire 5-5A is in the non-select. So every team is competing in the same area.
And then 4-5A, only Zachary, as you see them at the top.
Right.
Everybody else is in the select, but Zachary is in the non-select.
And you talked about how there are some 4A teams that are now competing with the 5A teams in what is now Division I non-select. The most notable, there's 2 that really stand out, and that's Neville out of Monroe. They're always a force in 4A. And then you have the defending 4A state champs, Westgate, out of New Iberia. They're also going to be playing in the Division I. So you lost a couple of really good teams, but then you picked up a couple of really good teams.
And that's all for every classification. It's going to be like that. And so basically, when you look at the non-select playoffs, you're going to have the same number of teams in each classification, which are, in this case, will be each division.
Right.
And then what you're going to start the playoffs with, 4 teams, the top 4 teams, will have automatic buys, and for everyone, the finals will be in the dome.
Now, Coach, I thought I was a smart one here, and I'm the veteran teacher. You're retired here. You sound like teacher of the year trying to explain that. That made perfect sense.
I was runner-up one time.
Well, that the person who won must have been amazing.
Well, it was my wife.
Well, there you go. So she taught you everything you know.
And I had to run this by her to make sure I was doing everything correctly here.
No, you did perfect. I mean, I know the names of the teams, but I can't tell you exactly what makes up a select school, because it's sometimes it sounds arbitrary and you're like, this team is, but this team isn't. But you explained it so well.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'm going to tell you, I can't say enough how crucial winning tonight for these 2 teams that are out here. And you say, well, kind of East Ascension. Look, let me just tell you, East Ascension, they need to be thinking about, if I win, I'm going to be playing these people instead of West Monroe or Zachary or whatever, teams that they've played already. And it's amazing when you look at this. East Ascension 4-4 on the year, and they're ranked up there, with the big people, the good teams. So the Spartans have done a pretty good job, and that win over West Monroe was crucial for them.
And we're ready for the second half kickoff. Perfect timing, Coach. And it's going to be taken at the 5 as the second half is underway, and Live Oak will begin at about the 23-yard line after a decent return. And it's going to be 1st and 10. They trail 10-0. What do they have to do here on offense to get back in the game and get on the board?
I would like to see some plays going to the outside, maybe some quicker passes. But I'm going to just tell you, the way, I mean, this is just the way I look at it, and you look at it all the way up to the NFL. You got 2 safeties deep. You ought to be running the football, and you ought to be having success. You have 6 people in the tackle box. Basically, they have only 3 receivers. They have an extra back there, H-back back there. That should be an extra blocker for you.
And on 1st down, wrapped up from behind.
And see what I see on that play right there. You got a backside look like defensive end that's unblocked. It's most of the time this guy is being read, and the quarterback is keeping it going in the other direction. But that's not how they're working that play right there.
That's C.J. Howard, number 56, with the tackle. First time we talked about him here tonight. They're going to say he got a yard, 2nd and 9.
Well, we met with Loyson before the game on East Ascension starters. He said these are the starters, but there are a number of kids that'll play, and he's been exactly right on with that.
Right. Loyson Porter always provides us with perfect information on the East Ascension side. We're very grateful for him. 2nd down, scrambled, sacked. And Deron McZeal with the tackle right there.
And though that right there is the definition of good pass defense right here. You know, you could have every receiver running down the field untouched, wide open, but as the defensive coaches like to say, it's hard to complete that pass when you're laying on your back.
So McZeal with the corner blitz and the sack. And we're going to give Howard credit for half a sack as well.
I see. It looks to me like, they're not coming out. It looks to me like linebackers are coming now.
3rd down.
They're stepping up in there.
And under pressure and sacked again, low, Hobdy. And it's 4th down.
Hobdy's a player.
Yes, he is.
He looks like he has a lot of fun out here playing football.
We talked about it again earlier. Last week he had the game-clinching pick 6 against Denham Springs. That made it 17-7. And so just relentless D for East Ascension. McZeal's around midfield.
Well, I know McZeal, you talk about him being a starting point guard as a freshman when he was at Dutchtown. I'd like to see him catch this ball and get down the field, but that's a good job by the punter, not a good job by the punt.
Right.
The punter saw nobody rushing. He's allowing those all his folks on the punt team to get down there. He just did not make good connection with the ball. East Ascension is going to start from the 35-yard line, 1st and 10.
And something that I always wonder about, and you didn't see it there, I understand the point, trying to get you guys downfield, but when you take that delay like that, weren't about 3 or 4 offensive linemen about 20 yards downfield?
Well, if you're kicking it, it's no big deal. If you should happen to pass it, you got problems.
Okay. So thanks for that explanation, Coach. And it's 1st and 10.
Now, that is an issue in the professional ranks.
Right. That's what I was thinking. 1st down, Foster with a nice run and a 1st down as they get inside the 25. So it's 1st and 10. And, Coach, we talk about how great the East Ascension defense is playing.
Watch that fake. You see 15?
Yeah.
15 takes off. That way
so number 15, that's DeLatte.
Yeah, DeLatte, but when Walter Samuel took off, you could see a portion of the defensive front 6 or so of Live Oak take that step right there, and they're able to get down the field.
Number 21, Brody Welch, ladies and gentlemen.
So Welch is injured, and he comes off the field. So we'll keep it here. And the thing I want to bring up, Coach, is we've praised the East Ascension defense tonight, and deservedly so. Live Oak hasn't given up a touchdown here tonight. The only the only score of the night that was a touchdown, at least, was that that pass attempt by the quarterback that was picked up and run in for a touchdown. So their defense is playing well too. As on first down, there's Samuel, breaks a tackle, and now he's going to get to the end zone, and I kind of jinxed it, huh?
Well, I'm going to just tell you, I said the same thing about Live Oak. Get outside with the ball. I mean, both of these teams are doing an outstanding job stopping the inside run game. But the one thing that I would have to tell Darnell Lee,
number 22, Walter Samuel on the carry.
The score now is 16
to nothing.
If they kick this extra point, what do we have now, Jeff?
17-0, and I know where you were going with
And
that.
where do we have this at halftime, which we've just started the second half?
We'll talk about that after the extra point, which is up, and no good. So it didn't happen. So
first miss of the year.
We'll take
20 out of 21 now.
And it's 16-0. East Ascension with the lead. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, Gaucher and Amadei, Our Lady of the Lake Health, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Chevrolet, Walk-Ons, Austin Fire Systems, Eustace Mortgage, SKR Construction, for their support of our EA Sports Medicine program.
It's 16-0 off after the missed extra point by Ontiveros. East Ascension with a 2-score lead as Ontiveros gets ready to kick off to Live Oak. So 9:06 left to go.
Ontiveros might not be happy right now.
Right. And he has the usual, about the 5-yard line. And so the return, nice hole, gets through the first wave into about the 25. And you alluded to this, Coach. It's 16-0, and you're talking about possibly being 17-0. I'm sure that most people are aware of what we had last night in our game of the week. If they didn't watch it, they probably heard about it by now. Dutchtown at this point in the game against Denham Springs was up 17-0. And did they win? No, they did not.
And it was probably a real good 17-0.
Yeah.
And a solid 17-0. And then all of a sudden, they scored their 17 points, which would be Dutchtown in the second quarter. And then all of a sudden, boy, Denham Springs came back in that fourth quarter and put on a show. And scored 3 touchdowns to win 21-17.
And so Pruitt gets about 4 on first down. It's going to bring up actually 2. They're going to mark him back at the 28. And the reason I'm bringing that up is if you're the coaching staff and your players at Live Oak, this game was played on your field last night, and you had one team dominating most of the game, and then the other team came back and won. So if you're the coach, you're telling them, look, teams come back from this. We saw it last night. Don't give up on yourself. 2nd and 8. Swing pass, complete. Jones. Nice cut inside, first down.
Nice play right there. I think the yardage is on the outside and downfield, and that's for both teams. I think, East Ascension might have a better shot at moving the ball a little bit on the inside, but I think what you just saw Walter Samuel do, what you just saw on a swing pass, not on every play, but mixing it up a little bit, gets that ball moving, those sticks moving.
And the ball's at the 38. I believe that's their first down via the pass tonight.
Well, and the other thing I like about it, hasn't had a whole lot of time, quick pass.
Yes. And he's got time now. He rolls out, and he's just going to run to about the 39, chased out by Coleman, who stayed home.
Kate Jones on the keeper.
Oh, okay.
4th out of bounds.
So that was actually number 2 playing quarterback right there.
Caden Jones.
Good call, Coach.
Well, this is what I saw, and and not knocking you. I know you're kind of hindered in height. But I noticed that quarterback wasn't near as tall on that running back as you and I are together.
Yeah. the running back and the quarterback, when Jones and Pruitt are out there, look like you and me in the booth.
Yep.
I never thought about that till now.
I'm a little shorter now that we're outside and it's cold out here to me.
Yeah. It's a lot warmer down here. And we have a timeout called by Live Oak. And why don't we keep it here? And we were talking about East Ascension and the renderings from Jeff Pyron. Why don't we see if we can take a look at some of those shots? As you know, the renovation is underway, and we have what some of the finished product shots are going to look like. That's the front face of the building right there, as it's going to look over at East Ascension in the near future. And we got a couple of other shots as well, thanks to Jeff Pyron. You see, he was talking about a lot of branding at these new schools. And you see the EA logo and the Spartan right there, and you're going to see that in all of the shots that you're going to get. You see the Spartan right there, East Ascension, and so that's what they're going to have out here at East Ascension very soon. And so those are some great shots, and the Ascension Parish School Board using your tax dollars to make needed improvements.
Jeff, I came here in '85, and I think since then they have added on probably or built new schools, probably in the area of 13 or 14 new schools in that time. That's what Ascension Parish is known for. Throughout the state, especially right around the Baton Rouge area, and you go down that river, and all our plants and everything, and folks are moving here. They're moving to Livingston Parish, and the school system is a big plus.
Well, Livingston Parish is going through the same boom, and we talk about Denham Springs having the improvements to their athletic facilities. This is a beautiful place and a beautiful school out here at Live Oak. Walker went through the same renovations in their football stadium, and their facilities are outstanding as well. So both parishes have used their tax money wisely and invested in the school system. 3rd and 3, pressure, sacked. And I believe that's going to be Perfect. Yes, Joshua Perfect, and it's 4th down. They're just having trouble on that blitz. They can't pick up the guys coming through.
Well, you say blitz. Sometimes it is that. Sometimes it's just man on man. They're a little bit better.
We're approaching the halfway point here in the 3rd quarter.
Back kick for the Eagles, number 25, Rick Schultz.
Now, Schultz had a great punt the last time we saw him. And look at this. This is a rocket, too. And it's going to bounce. If he could just get it to stop, if he could take out his pitching wedge.
So what you would tell him, quit kicking the ball so far.
Yeah. So that was a 62-yarder. When's the last time you've seen a punter in a high school football game kick back-to-back 60-yard punts?
Yeah, I saw Poirier do that in I think his first kick in the when Santa Monica had their first game. And he boomed one out there about 60-something yards. Let me just cover some of these middle school scores. They had middle school last. It was the end of the season after this play.
Yes. So I guess you got the script that it was a run. No, it's a bad snap. So it is kind of a run. And we'll bring up 2nd and 10 as you bring up the scores.
Well, Galvez beat Prairieville 24-0. Lake beat Santa Monica. Interesting here, 2-0.
That's a forfeit score, but we don't know.
Lake beat Santa Monica 2-0. Bluff beat Dutchtown 14-0, and Gonzales beat Central 28-20. And after this play, I will go over the final standings.
Kind of a surprise champion, right? A little sneak preview, 2nd and 9. And actually one school itself, their feeder schools, dominated this season. And there's a keeper by Foster. And it's going to be short of a 1st down. And a little contact downfield, but they get them free, and it's no flag.
All right, their standings. Santa Monica middle ended 7-1. They're the champions. Lake is 6-2. Galvez 5-3. Bluff 5-3. Bluff had a very good year. winning their first games in existence. Dutchtown 5-3, Gonzales 4-4, Prairieville 3-5, Central 1-7, and Laurie 0-8.
And it's 4th down, as it's going to be a punting situation for East Ascension. And so when you talk about Santa Maria Lake Galvez, at least for the time being until Prairieville is built, all 3 of those schools are feeder schools too.
Very, very good years. And I'm going to tell you, I think it was a very good year just for middle school football in general, and volleyball's going on also are just finishing up. And now the middle schools, once those 2 sports are over with, now they'll start basketball tryouts and picking their teams and getting ready for the season.
So there's the punt, and he gets it away, and there's contact again. No flag, and it's going to be dead at inside the 40, and a good late bounce. So as I was alluding to, you're talking about the middle schools. All those schools, at least currently, are feeders to Santa Maria. Now, Galvez at some point may be a feeder to Prairieville, but that's not been determined yet. But that's some promise for the Gators for sure.
Yeah, and that's 2 years in a row. I think the freshman Gators and the 8th grade Gators are having some pretty good years going to Santa Maria High School.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 34.
I'm going to tell you what, I'm concerned about Ontiveros and that punting. It's close to a block, the last 2 punts.
And he's been knocked around on those punts, but there hasn't been any penalties for roughing the punter or running into the punter or anything. And that happened last week in the Denham Springs game. They just had the snap is a little bit slow perhaps, and a lot of pressure, but he's been able to get it off. There's been contact just about every punt with him. As you see the first down play, no gain, 2nd and 10. So they're going to have to get that snap a little faster to that punter.
And I'm not sure that's going to happen because snap doesn't seem to be a very positive word sometimes in the EA arsenal. But, you know, if you could just tell him, let's just take a one step, get the punt off, okay?
Yeah. And a little impatient. That's Whitehead coming from his slot position. And that almost like an arena football play where he's coming through, but he just mistimed it.
And you realize this, we haven't had hardly any penalties in this game.
Not very many.
Of course, that was an obvious penalty.
Yeah. Officiating doing a good job here tonight. 2nd and 15. How you say it, Coach? The officiating is great when you don't notice it.
You're exactly right. I mean, I like to watch everything.
Yeah. So ball now at the 29. Shotgun. Has time. Complete. And in. Are they going to say that's a catch and fumble or an incomplete pass? Catch and fumble, apparently. That was kind of a bang-bang play. We can maybe.
I don't know. I'm going to have to look at this, but
yeah, we're going to.
You know, it just depends on what National Federation, what your definition of a catch is. I'm going to say that's an incomplete pass.
Well, Burfict made the contact.
I think, you know, in general, they want you to catch it and make a couple of steps like a football move or whatever.
Right. 3rd down, rollout pressure. Sacked again as grabs the jersey and does not let go.
I think he's
Sidney Joseph.
Yeah, I think he's playing nose guard. I mean, you run back there, and I would tell Sidney, I said, don't run back there and not get part of quarterback, okay?
Right.
He did an outstanding job.
We're now inside of 2 minutes.
Do you think the quarterback's going to get it in the end zone from here? Because he's done an outstanding job of averaging over 60 yards on his punts.
And that's a little low, and he gets it away, and it's
I was concerned.
Not as good.
Was he on a knee when he caught that?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
That white hat was right there.
I don't know that we will be able to see that. Let's see if we can. Do we have a replay on the snap to the punter? Let's see. Oh, that would have been 1st and goal on a 1. or maybe even a safety.
Yeah, where that ball's it would be on the at the 1 yard line.
So that was super close. But it's 1st and 10 from the 49. And a little swing pass to Jupiter falls incomplete. Good coverage there by Harush. And we got to give credit again to our director, Andre, and our camera operators who've done an A-plus job here tonight getting all these shots. They make everybody makes us look good. And it's hard to make me look good. Now, you, Swag, that's another story.
Well, I'll discuss that with you on the ride home.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. You always do. 2nd and 10. And there's a handoff. And up the middle for about 6 or 7. I want to bring up Jalen Lee is in the quarterback at this time for EA.
And Lee is probably a little bit more polished in the total passing game, I would say.
Yes.
But he can go all the way back to Gonzalez Middle, handing that rock off to Samuel.
And it's 3rd and 4. And it's a fake rollout. And a little pass to Jupiter caught at the 35 and a first down to inside the 30 to the 29.
Nice call right there.
And we saw that late in the game against Denham Springs. That same pass got them a 1st and goal and helped that drive stay alive.
Denham Springs love that. Now, they didn't do it last night, but against East Ascension, we talked about it, they ran it probably 10 or 12 times. And not many of them were successful, but they were able to get outside and throw the ball.
Shotgun, Lee looking deep. And Chasson is there, but cannot make the catch. It's incomplete. As did a little post route there, but I believe Chasson was maybe looking for the seam and had to adjust his route.
Well, I think Lee threw the ball. He was just a tad bit off balance.
Yeah.
That pass, you say, is catchable, yes. But, you had to make a heck of a move down there in that end zone to redirect yourself. The main thing I would say, he looked like he was open.
He was. He had a big catch in the first quarter, you may recall. 2nd and 10, and good contact. And number 45, Braden Maher, make the tackle. As that's Foster, and it looks like his knee may be a little problematic.
He's wanting to get up. He got twisted up a little bit.
But it looks like he's okay. And so they're going to have to go with Lee. Did they have both of them in the package there? Right,
yes.
there, Coach? So Lee will stay in a quarterback. And not a lot of running backs behind Samuel right now. And that might be part of the thinking right there. You see Nigel Murphy, who was a receiver. They lost to Corey Johnson a while back, and that was a big loss.
I tell you what, if you go to freshman and JV games, it seems like they don't end at East Ascension, athletes at running back.
Yep, as the 3rd quarter comes to an end, and East Ascension with a 16-0 lead. As the 3rd quarter comes to a close, we are going to take a break. You are watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, Gaucher and Amadei, Our Lady of the Lake Health, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Chevrolet, Walk-Ons, Austin Fire Systems, Eustis Mortgage, SKR Construction, for their support of our EA Sports Medicine program.
4th quarter beginning, and they're jumping around at Live Oak. It's a 16-0. Well, at least the band is trying to. The fans aren't quite jumping around so much. They are waving around, but they're not jumping around.
Well, I'm moving around because
it's a little cool out here, huh?
A little chilly. East Ascension hadn't seen this much this year. Empty package here.
5 receivers. Samuel in
and
that
with
right slot.
Jalen Lee at quarterback.
Yeah, you have Samuel in that right slot.
So, you could have a quarterback run here.
And they just got 5 free yards on the
And that would be 3rd and 5. I'm not real certain if Walter Samuel is in this. There he is. He's in the slot into the sideline.
And want to bring up one more time, we head to the fourth quarter. It's 16-0, and it's nearly identical to what we had last night. So stay tuned. It may not be over yet. So 3rd and 5 from the 24.
Well, I'd be throwing it into the sideline here.
Looking left, quick pass, caught.
Well, that's good too.
Close to a first down.
You had Samuel into the flat. That was wide open.
Now, this officiating crew, anything that's close, they've given it. Doesn't look like they're going to do it right here.
Well, that's.
By number 18, Josiah.
So it's 4th and 1. This is the first time we've seen the 4th down call, at least on an inches situation. Like I said, Live Oak has been in a couple of situations where they gave them the first down, where it was close, maybe not quite there.
Well, you got a 4th down situation, and you're going back to empty 4th and 1. And the linebackers are coming.
And the jet sweep. Oh, Jupiter. That's what I was about to say, was you look for the little jet sweep here with Jupiter. They like to get him in that package, and we're going to actually keep it here with the timeout, and maybe we can get a chance to look at Donaldsonville High School. Some of the renderings that Jeff Pyron gave us at the halftime show last night. And they're going through a lot of changes as well, as you see the outer face of that building, how it's going to look in the near future.
Jeff, it's unreal what our school board's doing to build new facilities and upgrade to where everybody has a nice situation to send their kids to school throughout the parish.
Right, and again, you see the branding right there with the Donaldsonville Tigers. That's the front office. And so just some great shots there, and stuff that we're looking forward to here in Ascension Parish.
Look at everybody piled up in here, Jeff.
Yep, they're going shotgun with Lee and Samuel.
I think Samuel.
Way deep back. Samuel struck for a loss. That's Maurer again.
Number 22.
They read that from the get-go.
Yep.
And this defense, except for when I complimented them, they have looked great all night.
Yeah.
They've given up that one touchdown to Samuel.
Well, the big problem you had defenders on the outside that were coming, and Samuel broke to the outside, and they're unblocked on the outside. So that play was kind of designed to just man up in there and get your yard, in the A or B gaps on the field.
So it's 1st and 10, ball at the 24 for Live Oak, and they need a big play. And they haven't been able to get one so far tonight. And a deep pass, caught! And it's down on the ground, and it's a turnover.
Well, you have the back judge coming in. I haven't seen a signal yet. Whitehead's easing in there.
That has to be EA football.
And there is the referee.
Look at the replay again. And who is that? Look who had it. That was number 11 with the strip and the recovery. That's Bryson Green. Another name. Just names everywhere here.
Well, Loyson, he coached us up. There's going to be a lot of people playing.
Yep. Well, this defense, this is the best that I've seen this East Ascension defense play all season.
Look what East Ascension has lined up. Samuel, get
down,
outside.
And a late flag. And some contact, extracurricular perhaps, but no penalty there. And while we wait for this to sort out, I want to bring up, last week East Ascension gave up 7 points to Denham Springs, which was really impressive. But the thing was, Denham Springs moved up and down the field all night on them. Live Oak has not moved the ball at all, as they just can't get a passing game going. Too much pressure from the D-line on the EA side.
And that's with 2 different quarterbacks.
Yes.
Look, you know, if this thing ends just like it is right now, I think next week's going to be one heck of a game.
Yep.
Dutchtown and East Ascension playing for the district championship.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in our next break for sure. 1st and 20 and drop, as that's Ja'Cory Mitchell. And so 2nd and 20 for the Spartans.
Number 2, Ja'Cory Mitchell.
So that, I believe, was at least the 3rd turnover on the night. One of the turnovers turned into a touchdown. Whether we call it a pass from the quarterback or a fumble, whether his hand was going forward or not, it was recovered and returned for a touchdown by Womack. So then you had the interception by McZeal, which turned into a field goal. 2nd and 20. And that's Nigel Murphy going nowhere as a tackle by Tyne.
East Ascension, it looks like they have some leakage in that offensive line. And where people, whether it be linebackers or defensive linemen, are easing through right there. And, you know, at times, Samuel's been able to break a tackle and get outside. Not getting outside right now. You're getting tackled in the backfield.
We've seen a great defensive struggle out here so far on both sides. 7 of the points for East Ascension come on defense. You had the long 20-plus yard run by Samuel for the only offensive touchdown of the night.
Yep.
That 3rd. And we're down to 0. But there may have been a timeout called.
Yeah, maybe a timeout because.
And so while we have that timeout, you were talking about how next week's game is going to set up. Let's look at next week's schedule again, because we have another Thursday, Friday doubleheader here on Rev Sports. As Thursday night, it's going to be East Ascension at Dutchtown, which is not the game. That's the Sandoval game, of course, but this still means a lot to East Ascension, whether it's for the district title or not. Live Oak at Sandoval, that's our Friday night game. Then Walker plays at Denham. Now, the upcoming schedule for our game of the week, you see right there, our schedule, we talked about that, EA Dutchtown, Live Oak, Sandoval. And in 2 weeks, you have the playoffs. And there's a possibility of 2 teams in Ascension Parish getting home games. That would be Dutchtown and East Ascension. At least one of them will, because one of them is going to win next week. So we will have at least one game for you next in 2 weeks if everything goes as planned. 2nd down, or make a 3rd down, little screen, and that's Chasson, and not much.
Live Oak doing an outstanding job right there, pursuing to that football and making a very minor gain of yardage there.
Yeah, you see 18, that's Harouche.
Number 34,
and it's 4th down in a punting situation for Ontiveros.
4th down.
Now, we talked about this. This is what you want to look for, that snap.
Number 82, Kate Trigger.
They need to get that timely snap, and he needs to get it off quickly because they've been coming with the
And everybody's at that line of scrimmage.
Better snap, but quick, and it's blocked. And it was nearly a scoop and score. Could not come up with it. And, Coach, you called that one right there.
It's the way, I mean, the snap was perfect. The blocking, not sure about that. But to me, the mistake that Live Oak made right there, they need to pick that ball up.
Right.
Because getting into this end zone is not an easy thing.
Right. Skylar Martin, number one, nearly had the scoop and score, but he just could not get it. And that could have made it a 16-6 game, and with the possibility of a 2-point conversion, a 16-8 game. 1st and 10, though, they're driving. This is their deepest drive of the night.
But, Jeff, this is what you teach your kids on this block punt. Always pick it up, and everybody else turn around and block high.
And the quarterback with the keeper, and that's the backup quarterback, Hayden Jones. And they may have to go to him for a while here because he's at least a running threat if the pocket collapses like it did.
Yeah. And a smart move right there getting down. So
2nd and 6, and Jones is staying in. Pruitt just didn't have the mobility to get away from those defenders. Ball at the 24. And looking around, plenty of time. Now into the end zone, and it's a jump ball, and it is dropped. And he had it. He had that. Incomplete.
Boy, the offensive line did a tremendous job here.
Their best job.
Quarterback,
so far tonight.
outstanding job of moving around, extending the play, and throwing it up there. You get a completion, incompletion, maybe a penalty on interference or whatever.
That was
just didn't happen for him.
That was Braden Jones, number 9. So that's 2 opportunities in 3 plays where you could have had points on the board, and they did not do it. You had the block punt that was nearly a scoop and score. Now you got pressure and a sack. And it's 4th down as the corner blitz there coming, a delayed blitz by number 20, Tyron Turner.
Good job right there coming off the outside.
So 4th and 13.
7:20 left in this ball game.
And they're going for it.
Oh, definitely.
No choice.
Just there's a lot of people in that secondary for East Ascension.
Yep. They had 7 guys off the line and open, and a 1st down to the 10, breaking tackles. And 1st down, catch made by the tight end, number 43, Hayden Ray.
Outstanding play call right here. 2 safeties in the middle. In the deep end. You want to split those and hit exactly where they threw the ball. Outstanding.
Now, to recap, it's only 16-0, not 17-0. So a touchdown and a 2-point conversion can make it a 1-score game.
Good point.
And there's a handoff to Jones. It's 1st and goal, they're going to say. So they can't get a 1st down inside the 1. But they get good yardage on 1st down. Coach, are we going to see another thriller here at the end?
I think so.
They got to get into the end zone first.
Because I'm going to tell you, if East Ascension punts again, I think the same results are going to happen. You know, those guys just lined up with 10 guys coming, and I'm going to say 4 of them could have easily blocked that punt right there.
2nd and goal from the 7. That's Rosenthal slips.
Number 34, Rosenthal on the carry.
And so it's going to be 3rd down. He lost about half a yard, about the 7.5-yard line. So you got 2 plays with 5:38 left to go. They have to get points right here, Coach. They can't get 2 more opportunities.
There's no doubt about that. Yeah. And the one thing you have going for, East Ascension has no help over the top, which is a doable situation. And so I think that's probably the right thing for the Eagles to do to call timeout and look. He saw how they were going to line up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe the slant right there is going to be the throw.
Let's take a look at East Ascension's schedule while we are in our break. And they're unbeaten in district. They started out so slow with that 1-4 start, but when you look at the teams they played, you understand why. Zachary, number 1 in the state.
And look, they were right in there with Zachary in the third at the end of the third quarter.
Destrehan's a top 10 team. Alexandria they lost, and De La Salle they had first and goal and were ready to tie the game, and they're a really good Division II school. Then you get to district play and look, they were ready after that tough schedule. So they have the 3 wins and they're trying to make it 4-0 right here.
4-4, and they like in the top 10, I think, in the power rankings.
Right, I believe they are at 10 if I'm not mistaken.
All right, let's see what you got a slant over there to the right.
And you roll out.
Sprint out, nice.
Into the end zone and had a hand on it, but
you had
coverage.
2 receivers in the same spot. That was but I like the idea of the sprint out.
And that was Cam Chris, number 19, who had the best opportunity to catch
good
that
protection.
pass. But as you said, number 9's right there too, Jones. And this is possibly the ball game right here. If they don't convert and they have 1 timeout left and 5:14 left to go, and if it would still be a 2-score game, that would be tough to come back from. So they have to get it right here.
I'm looking. The receiver out there to the right is kind of wide. Oh,
roll out, end zone, and contact. No flag, and East Ascension will take over.
I thought the guy in motion turned up pretty quick.
Maybe so. There was contact in the end zone, too, as I said.
And I saw that also.
You see number 43? Yeah, he kind of
I mean, that should have been illegal procedure right there.
So there was contact between the receiver and the DB, but they're gonna keep the flags in their pockets right there. And you talked about there's not a lot of penalties here tonight. Maybe that's part of the reason why they decide not to call anything and just let them play the game. And there's Samuel outside. And
Stay
he
in
turns
bounds.
the corner. He does. Clock runs. Good first down gain right there.
Number 22, Samuel on the carry.
Yeah, but you know what? You see what he has to do. He has to outrun tacklers and everything. This is not a designed play of being blocked right there on the outside. There's defenders that are filtering through there.
We have an injury on the field, so we'll take a short break. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, Gaucher and Amadei, Our Lady of the Lake Health, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Chevrolet, Walk-Ons, Austin Fire Systems, Eustace Mortgage, SKR Construction, for their support of our EA Sports Medicine program.
And we're back, and the injured player, Caleb Smith, the left defensive end, see a good shot of him right there with the arm injury. And we're back to the action, so we'll just keep it right here as it's 2nd and 5. Our score 16-0. East Ascension leads Live Oak as we are now approaching 4:25. And when you talk about Live Oak having one timeout left, now you start looking at the clock and first downs. It's on 2nd down to run up the middle. That should be a first down. So now, Coach, with 1 timeout and 4 minutes left, you're in a situation where 2 first downs basically ends the game.
And you got a first down right there.
Yeah. So they need 2 more first downs, and they could probably close this out. Because that's a nice run by Nigel Murphy. They may not be able to run it out with 2 first downs, but for all intents and purposes, that would be it.
We have
they're just going to eat the clock right now.
Jalen Lee still at quarterback.
Clock now inside of 10, and they're not in a hurry. Inside of 4 minutes now. And a snap and a run. And that's Foster, I believe. It is. Antoine Foster, the other quarterback, gained about 5.
And the other running back.
35, David Voorhees, and 45.
And so we have 2nd and 5. Thought that we were going to get a timeout right there, but they choose not to call it. 3:40 left to go.
And you have Jai Washington in there as your H-back blocking. So he's an excellent blocker.
And there's Foster again, and not quite enough for a first down.
Now that's a penalty.
Late flag.
That's a penalty. That wide receiver, number 10,
yeah,
Franklin, didn't get the job done on blocking on the outside. The guy got by him and decided since he got by me, I'll just push him in the back and right there in front of the sideline official.
So that kind of throws a monkey wrench into East Ascension's plans to run out the clock. But there's still 3:21 left to go, so they've done a good job on this drive.
So, Jeff, do you have a plan B now?
Run.
There you go.
Foster is the back. Lee is the quarterback.
Under 10 seconds.
Not
Watch this outside linebacker coming up.
They'll snap it about 3 minutes left to go.
Here he comes.
They don't get it off. Oh, boy. That'll stop the clock. Now it's 2nd and 19. They see the play clock. It's clearly visible, but they just didn't get it off on time.
Remain 2nd down.
So now they're back to the 11. And now you got to start thinking, if you're Live Oak, can you are you going to try to punch that ball out and get a turnover? Because you got to think they're running right here. 2 plays, no matter what.
And, the defensive backs are up, could get that long throw. And if you get
hold.
And if you get past that little group right there.
But they're moving backwards. Now they're going to be inside the 5. They're going backwards, Coach. This is not the way you want to run out the clock. Although a lot of clock is still burning, this is not the way to end it right here. This is going to be 2nd and 24. Ball to 6. It's going to be 2nd and 23. 16-0. Sorry to interrupt you, Coach.
We have seen this down and distance for East Ascension a couple of times, maybe even a little further than this.
Do you dare sneak a pass?
Look at the receiver on the right. Look at the defensive back that's covering him.
On an island.
And you got to get rid of it.
And that's what they're going to do. And you were looking that way, and guess where they throw it, but the receiver stopped.
I told you that last night. I just don't like this long vertical pass all the way across the field.
Yeah.
Now, was it Mooney?
Yes.
He proved me wrong last night.
He proved everybody wrong. Maybe even some of the Denham Springs fans who were not expecting a comeback of that caliber.
So the big thing, here is you're fixing to be punting.
Yep.
Out of your end zone.
Or not.
Whoa, what an effort right here.
And it takes about 8 guys to take him down.
Number 1, Foster.
Not really, but it felt like it as Harush comes
Foster,
in.
I'm going to tell you what.
18,
he says, I think I can get this first down.
And it's 4th down.
4th down, 13 for Spartans.
So it is a punting situation. And Swag, are you going to – you want to do this? Because I might have to close my eyes.
Well, Maybe they made some adjustments on the sidelines.
I'm going to look.
I would venture to say.
And here
there
it is.
You go,
Got
son.
it away fast.
There
Good
you
job.
go, son. Good job.
Fair catch at the 49, make it the 48. So now 152 and one timeout, and they have to score twice.
One-step punt, Jeff.
Yep.
One-step punt.
And it was a good punt. It was about 35 yards, I believe, on the fly. So now 152, one timeout, and have to score twice. How you feel about that, Coach? It's going to be tough. Everybody's starting to leave on the Live Oak. There's still a few fans here, but some have chosen to exit early. Not on the East Ascension side so far. I like this Live Oak defense, Coach.
Well, I think we saw two very good defensive. That right there, very good job of that middle linebacker. And who is that?
That's perfect. And 2 flags, so lots of penalties on the return. So I think now all of a sudden the flags are coming down like it's raining flags. As the clock stops at 1:38, and that's the killer right there, Coach.
Yeah.
As they can just
and you know what the difference was? I said the middle's wide open.
Yep.
Well, it's not going to be wide open if that middle backer, drops. And, of course, he was already dropped to start with, and all he did was backpedal about 7 to 8 yards. And perfect timing. Good job there defensively by the East Ascension defensive coordinator with his kids.
So they're likely to get a shutout here, and that sets the tables for our game of the week next week. Thursday night football, we have the doubleheader, and, of course, the game that everybody is going to be tuned into will be the Thursday night game as we still wait for this to be sorted out. East Ascension at Dutchtown. And so you have the scenario where either East Ascension can win the district title outright, or they could tie with Dutchtown if Dutchtown wins, or they could have a 3-way tie with Denham Springs if Denham Springs beats Walker.
Denham Springs and Walker, you think that's just a cupcake game?
Nope.
I'm just telling you, it's no different in this parish than it is in Ascension Parish.
Going into district play, you looked at the 2 best teams, one of the 2 best teams in the parish, or in the district, and most people thought after what Walker had done, they beat Ponchatoula pretty easily. They had some big wins, and they looked really good. They looked like perhaps the favorites. So if they looked like the team they looked like at the beginning of the season, they could pull off the upset against Denham. Denham looked great as well, and they're sorting this out. I don't know where the ball's going to wind up, but continue.
It's making the district look outstanding. And, look, this is just football.
Yeah.
Look
at the replay right here, by the way. Oh. So we have the interception.
Yeah, just right there. I mean, he's basically saying this is stealing.
Yeah.
They went to this
19 that went down. That was the first penalty. Yeah, it was pretty much because they could just drop everybody.
And Live Oak went to that pass because it was so wide open. Very understandable.
Yep. Live Oak is not choosing to call the timeout, so it looks like East Ascension can just run it out. Now, if the result holds, as it will, East Ascension will be alone in first place as they're going to improve to 5-4, over 500 for the first time this season, Coach. Live Oak will fall to 3-6 and 0-4 in district. They have a chance to win a district game next week against Sanamaw, as Sanamaw also winless. As a handoff and a flag. They can't even run the clock out right now. They're just having trouble with those penalties. But that game is going to be an interesting one between Live Oak and Santa because both teams don't want to go winless in district. Now, last we heard, Walker was beating Santa Maria.
Yeah, I think it's 14-7 right now.
Okay. But again, the doubleheader next week, we're going to have both of these teams again. Live Oak will be at Santa Maria on Friday, and then the big one, EA Dutchtown. Perhaps the biggest Dutchtown EA game in a while. It's now 28-7, so it looks like Walker is going to get the win in that game. 2nd and 13, and the clock just running, so they're just going to take one more play. And that's Taj Washington.
I love what I see coming from Live Oak. The kids have not quit.
Yes. Although the game's going to end on that play.
Yeah. And that's a testament to the coaching staff, the seniors, the players.
Defense did a great job, but just not any offense. And that's how the game's going to end. 16-0. We will break in a minute and come back with final remarks and end the game or end the broadcast. But we're going to take a break first. 16-0 our final. EA wins. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications. The powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution. A network built for every possibility. Moving faster than ever before. Streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
We just moved, so there's millions of
Dahlias in bloom, over 9 acres.
When we started, we grew a quarter of an acre. Now I'm taking on new products on the regular.
We always dreamed of having this property, so
I want to make my yard look as beautiful as
largemouth bass.
Yep.
We've got tons of them, don't we, buddy?
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours?
Come see us at Ascension Equipment for John Deere sales and service. Save more today and mow tomorrow.
You care about your car. So do we. Donaldsonville Glass and Body has been around for over 40 years, providing unparalleled collision repairs and customer service, especially when you and your car are having the worst day ever. When you demand exceptional workmanship, call Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Free pickup for your collision repairs and get it back as good as new. It's your choice, so why not choose the best? Donaldsonville Glass and Body.
The A-Team at Eustis Mortgage, here to serve all your home lending needs. Our company is a Louisiana-based family-owned mortgage company. Our mission is to provide custom-tailored mortgage solutions while educating our clients and providing the highest level of customer service during the transaction. Whether you're buying a home or looking to refinance, we would love to be of assistance to you. The A-Team at Eustis Mortgage is a proud supporter of Ascension Parish Athletics.
Piku Builder Supply, your one-stop lumberyard, provides an extensive selection of quality building supplies for your new construction and remodeling. We offer computer-aided estimating of your building and remodeling plans, as well as blueprint copies. From humble beginnings to becoming the industry leader in Gonzales and beyond, Piku proudly supports our local community because we believe in giving back to those who have had a hand in our success. Let the experts at Piku Builder Supply help you with your new project today.
Cash for your car. The Ross Downing Buick GMC Buying Center wants to buy your car. It's fast, easy, and fair. No matter what make, no matter what model, no matter what mileage. The Ross Downing Buick GMC Buying Center wants it. And we'll pay you cash for it, even if you don't buy from us. It's the Ross Downing Buick GMC Buying Center in Gonzales. Cash cash for your car at the Ross Downing Buick GMC Buying Center in Gonzales.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
So our final score, as you see the EA football team after their victory tonight, our final score is 16-0. And an A-plus performance by the East Ascension defense, keeping Live Oak scoreless. The only threat of the night came after a blocked punt. So the defense played just beautifully, and you had a defensive touchdown from Womack, and you had an offensive touchdown from Walter Samuel, and then you had the field goal, and that makes our score 16-0. Updated standings in 5-5A. East Ascension moves to 4-0. Denham and Dutchtown are at 3-1. Walker is 2-2 as they beat Santa Maria 35-7 tonight. Live Oak and Santa Maria are 0-4, and they will play each other next week in our Friday night edition of the Game of the Week. Let's look at our Game of the Week schedule real fast. As again, our doubleheader Thursday, EA at Dutchtown, Live Oak at Santa Maria, and then the playoffs begin. Any final comments, Coach?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I enjoyed our visit to Live Oak and their stadium, their facility. Everybody treated us nicely. I was impressed. You know, I'm not a defensive guy, but I was just impressed the last 2 days over both of all four defensive teams. They really did super jobs. Some really hard-nosed football. You could sit here and say Live Oak, things haven't been real well for them in district, but they played all the way to the last snap. And last night was just one heck of a game, and I think I told you, Denham Springs people have not left, and it's 17-0 right now. And so it's been some really good football. I think it's everything that the principals who really pushed hard for this, to have Livingston versus Ascension Parish in the same district, and this is just the start of something that's going to be really great throughout the year with all the sports.
Yes, I really enjoyed having these broadcasts out here as well, and it's been some fun games in district play. We've had some great broadcasts here this season, so it's worked out very well for everybody involved, I believe, having this set up. So you see the Walter Samuel with the touchdown right there, and lots of happiness on the East Ascension side as next week they're going to play for an outright district title. The worst they can do is tie for the district title.
And that's just a great picture by Josh. Is it?
No, that's Nolan.
Nolan and Josh.
Josh up here with the great
Andre and Lyle
action shots. As you see Coach Lee right there. You saw him earlier having a word with his quarterback, who he's very familiar with.
Oh, they probably give him a ride home tonight.
Yep. Yeah, he gets to ride in the front
seat.
And
I was glad to see. He had a pretty nice little second half right there.
Yep. So Coach Darnell Lee, East Ascension has really been successful under his tenure. And so that's going to wrap up our broadcast tonight. Our final score, East Ascension 16, Live Oak nothing. Join us next week for East Ascension Dutchtown and Live Oak Santa Maria. And that's going to wrap it up for Coach Swack. Always does a great job, and I'm Jeff, and I'm here helping him out. And it's been a great broadcast. You've been watching the Rev Game of the Week.